Ladies and gentlemen, Wilder Wrestling Entertainment, episode 26. Randy, how you doing tonight?
Feeling blessed. How about you?
Man, I like that. I feel blessed as well. So, last episode, our Christmas special episode, we talked about on episode 26, Randy and I were going to pick our favorite Royal Rumbles. We got Royal Rumble coming up for
If you could,
2026.
if you could hear, we were even talking about that, which I apologize.
Yes. Randy was recording on a yak back, if you guys remember those. So Randy picked one, I picked one, and wow, after watching my pick, we'll just get into it. It wasn't a really good pick. So, but
Not the way you remember, huh, buddy?
yeah, absolutely. So, Randy, tell us what Royal Rumble you picked.
Well, I wore the shirt today in honor.
Oh, hey, look, hold on.
But yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
uh, 2001 was definitely my favorite Royal Rumble. That's the one where Kane just went on the rampage, and I think he had 11 eliminations. And then you add the eventual outcome of Stone Cold getting the victory there, but not even just that, but the whole entire match card. I mean, the preliminary match was the Hardys versus the Dudleys.
Yes.
That's pretty strong. And then
Wait, but hold on.
re-
You said the Hardys. No, it was Edge and Christian.
Edge and Christian. Yeah, I
Yes, Edge and
apologize.
Christian.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, yeah.
absolutely,
Edge
because
and Christian.
they came in as the tag team champions.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And then the Dudleys took it off of them.
Yes.
And then you got such a man. I forgot about it. Even like that banger of a match between Jericho and Benoit. The
Yes.
ladder match.
I
Oh
actually
my
had that in my
god.
notes. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that
The-
was man. I hate what happened to Chris Benoit. Like I really do. And the circumstances that followed, because you can't give credit to the guy anymore. Like, you know what I mean? It's like taboo to even like think about his career. But man, just such a gifted performer. And Jericho, of course, back in his prime, there was nobody better. Honestly, I mean,
Mhm.
him. There's so many people. Even the next match, you had Triple H versus Kurt Angle, which
No, wait a minute,
Kurt
hold on.
Angle's one.
You skipped China versus Ivory.
Yeah, I did.
I hated how China lost that match.
She like broke her neck that match. I
Yeah,
mean,
that was
it wasn't real, but it
that
was
was
how they.
this was like the near the end of her WWE career too.
Yeah, yeah. This is when I mean, she was lost without Triple H anyway, until they paired her up with Eddie. There was some good stuff there, but yeah, Joni kind of hit the downslide at that point. So I mean, I was always a fan of her work, and Ivory especially. I always thought she was an underrated diva.
Hmm.
Um, tough girl, good in the ring, good
I
on the microphone too.
Yes, no, absolutely. She could definitely dish it out. I have a couple notes too about this 2000 before we get into the Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
Michael Cole's highlights. Man, dude.
yeah.
Man, that man was pulling them off.
Oh
Um,
my God.
Drew Carey, dude. The dude, he had too much screen time on that flipping event. That was the only thing I did not like about the 2001 Royal Rumble was Drew
I
Carey.
mean, they do that every now and again, though.
Yeah, but man, it's just I don't know. And dude, the ladder match, holy smoke. The ladder match stole away from the Triple H Kurt Angle match. I thought that match, I mean, though that match was great, don't get me wrong, but that ladder match was awesome.
It was. It was.
Yeah, yeah.
It, I think it's just two different tiers. You're talking about, the guys that, carry the show versus the big superstars that everybody wants to see. Yeah, I mean, Kurt Angle is one of my like top three in the ring all time.
Oh, it
And
was a great match. Absolutely. I'm
yeah,
not
yeah. And the old school psychology that they had going, like Triple H just working that leg the whole time, that knee, and the stuff you never see. Like, you don't see a guy like just like, oh, he's got an injured elbow, I'm going after that elbow.
yeah.
Like it's so great to see that old ring psychology in there. And like I even felt it too, going back and watching. Man, it was just a different product. Like it made you like invest in the matches because it didn't look spotty. Everything just looked so natural and fluid. It looked high impact. It looked painful. Like they sold it so much better back then.
Yes, no, absolutely. And I love that, Stone Cold comes out. Thank goodness they play like highlights from what happened to like, I guess 2 weeks before the match that Triple
Mm-hmm.
H cost Stone Cold the championship belt. And man, Kurt Angle, dude, that was peak Kurt Angle. And wow, dude, he was awesome. And man, Triple H, Stone Cold. But let's get into the rumble of it because we got to
Yeah.
talk about my pick. So first off, dude, you mentioned Kane. Kane was huge, bro. I mean, he's in your background right now. That dude was jacked. And
That was probably his peak, absolutely, as
yes,
far as physicality.
and dude, one of our favorites, Raven, man, comes out, starts bringing
Right?
out weapons out. Very hardcore theme. That's like the first and last time they ever did that. And that's actually Raven's only Royal Rumble. And he gets eliminated. Kane
Was it?
flipping. Yeah, I had to look it up. Yeah.
I didn't know
And,
that.
hmm And then flipping Kane eliminates all those like hardcore at the time guys that like within a minute he gets rid of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, all right, this is enough. But dude, the way he looked, dude, he was a monster.
Yeah. I mean, I like what you brought up there because I noticed that too. I mean, you had Al Snow,
Steve
you
Blackman.
had Raven, Steve Blackman, like all these hardcore guys that were going in, and they had a special little segment where it was just all of them, kind of like highlighted. They did the old everybody else go find a ring post and hang out
Hmm
while we get these spots in. But yeah, man, that match was just full of just actual legends.
Yeah, a lot
I
of
mean, you start,
headshots.
yeah, there definitely were back in CTWWE back in
And
the day.
and I have to, man, they did Taz wrong in that, man. He comes in, dude, he at this time he was running ECW and he
See,
gets
yeah,
eliminated immediately.
yeah.
I noted that. And then, dude, let's talk about one thing, our truth. Our truth was
Okay,
in,
quick.
yes, I mean, the fact that this is 2001 and our
I
truth,
know
this man is a vampire. He looked the
he's
same.
got to be.
Yeah, and he came in and he did his matches. I mean, he was doing his moves, and I think Big Show eliminated him. I think, yeah, he did.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, he pressed him and threw him over.
Hmm.
But I can't believe that our truth was there. Man, Royal Rumble is like the 99-cent McDonald's value meal menu. We didn't know how good we had it until it was all gone. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Wow. It's just like like everything from it, everybody and everyone in that match, and no matter if it was the matches before or in the Rumble, are legends, in my opinion.
yeah. I mean,
And
you had your occasional like Bull Buchanan. There's a couple of other people in there, but
all
for the
right,
most part, I
legend.
was looking up and down. And I mean, even if you take into the account like the Alberts of the world, I mean, that's Matt Bloom. Matt Bloom is one of the premier trainers now
Oh,
for
legend.
WWE.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, there's just so many people that like either they weren't legends then and then they just become something, backstage, or Taz, becomes a legendary commentator and plus all of his stuff. I mean, Raven, like you said, I mean, Raven doesn't get enough love,
No, not at
in
all.
my opinion. Um, but it was just star studded, like the whole way through. It was star studded.
I love the ending. I mean, Triple H comes out, beats the mess out of Stone Cold, busts him open. He comes
I
back, and
know.
then, it's between the last three people are Stone Cold, Triple H, and Kane. At this point, the Big Red Machine's tired, and he eliminates The Rock,
Mm-hmm.
and then Stone Cold has to hit him like three times in a row, really hard with the chair, and then gets him out, right? So he proves that, like, even though this big guy, he had to use the chair to get rid of him. But what a great ending, in my opinion.
But that's believable. That seems
Yes,
like what you would have to do
yes.
to get rid of a
If
monster like
if
Kane.
if you're in a street fight and the guy's a lot bigger, you grab the
Yeah.
next hardest thing you can to get rid of him, to take him down, right? And I loved it, man. I'm really glad you picked this one because when I watched this, I remember I watched this with a buddy at high school, but we didn't buy the pay-per-view. We went to Sneakers in Jacksonville,
Okay.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
they used to put the shows on, and I remember watching. There was no tables, and we watched it standing up. So not as enjoyable back then because you're standing, it's loud, you can barely hear it.
Yeah. Hard to digest.
Yes, exactly. And
And plus, I mean, we're watching it in real time in the present.
mhm.
It's like going back and looking at it now. now you do have the legend of like the lore of all these different characters, for the next, some of them up to 10 years or and beyond, of their work. And you're like, man, they really became something, but they weren't necessarily then. Like you didn't know what Edge and Christian were going to be,
Yeah.
at that time.
Yeah,
Edge and Christian
absolutely.
are megastars on their own,
They are.
and it's just so cool to see like where we were at and how spoiled we were, honestly, because they were so giving back then.
Full of legends. And I'm glad you picked this because my pick, and let's start talking about this, the 2006 WWE Royal Rumble, right? So I remember watching this, and once again, I was at a restaurant. We were at Hooters, and at the time, that place was packed and everybody was into it. So it started off with the Cruiserweight Championship, right? I love the
Yep.
guys that way. I'm not gonna hate, but that match was just not a good match to start the event off.
No.
Very boring, right? The
Brutal.
the vibe definitely changed from 2001 to 2006. Like they had a women's match. Why was the Trish Stratus the special referee? Who knows? I can't remember the story back then, but she's the champ.
Because it was something with Mickey.
Yeah, I guess. Really great to see the Boogeyman, dude. Flipping squash JBL. I love the Boogeyman. Stevie and I met him
Oh,
at a convention in Detroit. Really cool guy. I
yeah.
wish we got a picture, but we didn't. But I love to see him squash JBL. So that was cool to see. Spirit Squad, Dolph Ziggler. Without Spirit Squad, we wouldn't have Dolph
We
Ziggler.
wouldn't have
So
Dolph.
I
Yeah.
love the Spirit Squad. All right, and then the Royal Rumble, which is strange because did you notice that this wasn't the main event? This was pretty much the mid card event.
Yeah.
They,
How
they
weird was that,
they
right?
used the championship matches, two championship matches. So Rey Mysterio comes out, and I think this is why I picked this event was Rey Mysterio comes out, dedicated to Eddie Guerrero, who recently just passed at this point.
Yeah.
Really cool. Though you jokingly said he lays down the whole time, and then he still
I
wins the
You
match.
know what? That was what I call, it was a Triple H match that Rey Mysterio won,
Yes.
because that match was clearly all about Lemmy Kilmister, aka Triple H,
I
like from the start to finish.
I remember watching it and I was thinking that Triple H or Randy Orton was going to win. I was like, oh, one of these guys are
Mm-hmm.
taking it. And then Rey Mysterio just wins it, pulls it off at the end. But a lot of fillers in this match, right? You had a lot of like old WWE legends. In the 2001, I know the only one I noticed was Honky Tonk Man. But
Yeah,
in this one, you had a lot of fillers. A lot of SmackDown had a lot of up and coming failed gimmicks, and it just went nowhere. And you've seen this, right? Like
yeah,
Sylvain, the French actor, he didn't go
yeah.
anywhere.
Like I said, like I mean, I was a little tuned out from WWE at this point, so I did not get. I wasn't watching TV a lot on what they had going on. So there was like 4 or 5 guys that came out that I had absolutely no idea who they were.
Yeah. What did you think about the championship matches? So Cena's entrance was really cool. They had like that entrance, like it was up high. I'm not very sure. It came out in that flipping infamous John Cena football jersey, which was really cool. I really
Right,
wanted that back
the old
then.
chain gang
Yeah,
jerseys.
yeah, and he went against
Um,
the rated R superstar Edge.
yeah, I mean that it was one of the classic Cena and Edge matches. I would say that was definitely the highlight of the whole night. Um, that was worthy of being the main event after what they had going on. It was almost like we don't have 30 good superstars to put on a Rumble. So I mean, we're still going to do it out of tradition, but let's build it around the Cena and Edge rivalry.
Yeah, and then they end the event with Kurt Angle versus Mark Henry. And what do you think about that one? I
I was
mean,
always a huge fan of Henry.
oh yeah.
That was the Hall of Pain era, I
Mhm.
believe.
This is
Um,
this is like right when he first started getting his big push.
yeah, yeah, yeah. This is cornrow Mark Henry.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
um, yeah, I mean, cornrow Hall of Pain Mark Henry versus Perk Angle, because I think this was when he'd gone full bald and crazy. Um, I just thought he's so good at making people look just like they're just devastating them, and I mean Mark Henry was no different. so plenty of just power spots. Um, yeah, I mean, it was what it was. It wasn't my favorite
It was
match,
short. Did you
especially.
notice that? It
It was,
was very
yeah.
short.
It's like they hit like I don't know a time limit almost.
Yeah. And then he just finishes
Um,
up with the schoolboy, and you can see he grabs the rope, so it shows, hey, it makes Mark
I
Henry
cheated.
still like the strongest man in the world, right? And he had to
Yeah,
grab the ropes to get the pin. And then I'm sorry, but Undertaker comes out, and then when he's shooting the lightning out of his hand, and I forgot that the ring collapses. Oh
yeah.
man. I don't know.
That's
I don't know what happens between then and now because Rey Mysterio takes that belt. So
he
I
did. That
can't,
was when he was doing the giant killer gimmick, right?
yes.
When they were putting him against all the big boys, and he was somehow like still winning and keeping the belt.
Yeah, but dude, he was in physique
Dude, yeah, I will say
condition.
that was another highlight. I just forget how good Mysterio was, like in
Yeah.
his actual young prime. Nobody can touch him. Like that
Mm-mm.
guy is all over the place. He's the original. Your boy is bouncy.
Yeah. Yeah, so all right. So all right, what would you rate 2001 Royal Rumble
Out of 10, 5
out of 5?
out of 5. I mean, I guess I'm gonna have to put it at 5 stars because it's my best ever. It's the one that I compare like everything to.
Oh, yeah, 5 out of 5 for me too, man. That was a
Yeah,
great. If you haven't watched the 2001 Royal Rumble, dude, it's on Peacock. Check it out. I'm sure
yeah,
you can find it on YouTube somewhere too. So you gotta watch it. You just don't realize how great the WWE was back then. Just full of
yeah.
legends, man.
There's a reason people call that like they still yearn for that era because it was too good. They had too much going. They had too much talent.
Yeah. What about the 2006?
I'll give it a 2.
Rude.
Two animals. Two
Oh man.
animals.
Oh yeah, I forgot the animal rating. All right, I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5 because the fact that the little guy won, that was the first and last Rey Mysterio with the championship, I believe. I want to say I could be wrong. I know King Booker eventually takes it from him, but that doesn't happen till like Great American Bash. He held on to that belt for a while, so that was just the beginning of the Rey Mysterio heavyweight championship era.
Was that his only run, or has he had two?
I don't know. Who knows? Do you know?
Yeah,
I mean, I don't.
somebody
I think
knows.
that's the only one. I want to say that's the only one. I can't remember
Yeah,
anything else. And I watched WWE pretty much full time in that era. I was there
yeah. That,
live when
that
King.
was
I was there live when King Booker took it from him too. Chavo turned on Rey Mysterio and Great American Bash. People were so upset. But
was that was that Chavo or Kerwin White?
it was Chavo. It was Chavo. It was after that silly gimmick.
Oh
Oh
my God,
man.
what a wreck, man! That whole timeline was just. Ugh. I'm so glad they found Cena, at least.
Yeah, absolutely right. All right, so if you watch 2001 or 2006, those are Randy and I's picks. Obviously, Randy had the way better pick. If you would like, if there's a Royal Rumble that sticks out in your mind, let us know, man. I want to hear it because I'm hooked on them now. I started watching 2007s just because it automatically started playing after the
Yeah,
six. But and let us know what you think because Royal Rumbles are the best. We got one coming up. Was it January 31st or February 1st?
February 1st.
Okay, awesome. All right, so and let us know. All right, Randy,
Yeah,
anything else
it's
you want to talk about? I know we just surrounded this episode just for our picks and that.
yeah. I mean, there's really nothing going on until after the Netflix special.
Yeah, we'll talk about
They're
that
kind
next
of
week, right?
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
We should be walking into that at that point. So we won't have results yet. But yeah, at least it'll give us something to kick around because everything right now just been kind of like pre-recorded time filler type stuff. They're still building up Cody versus McIntyre, which I don't know if you saw. Yeah.
Your boy called it.
Three,
Three stages
your
of hell.
boy called it, just
Yeah,
brought it up, the three stages of hell. So I'm actually looking forward to that match
me
because
too.
I'm a big Drew McIntyre fan, especially when it comes to these type of matches. Because he's just so brutal, but he's safe at the same time. It's an art form. It really is. And Cody, he's the king of just getting whipped.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's going to be a great match. So let's see what else they keep cooking up.
Yeah, we'll have to talk. Let's talk about that in next week's episode because I'm excited, dude. Three stages of hell, right?
I
So,
know.
I'm excited. Well, remember, thank you for watching. Remember, like, subscribe, share, comment, and all the jazz. And Randy, thank you. Thank you for doing such a great pick for Royal Rumble.
We gotta have the contrast, right?
Yeah, right. All right. Everyone, y'all have a great night. Thank y'all. See ya.